Good morning, class 8. Today we'll talk about democracy. This is the introductory part of chapter 16, Democracy and Human Rights. Democracy means rule of the people. What does this mean? Can everyone do anything he or she wants to do in a democratic society? In this lesson, we'll try to find out the answers to these questions and many others which come in our minds when we talk about the term democracy. Let's have a look on the history of democracy. Two ancient civilizations are significant while talking about the history of democracy. One, Greek civilization, and the other, Roman civilization. In the Middle Age, we'll see the importance of Magna Carta, which was the basis of democracy. In the modern era, French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, and World War I led towards democracy. Democracy comes from two Greek words, demos, people, kratos, power. Power or rule of people. Students, for the better understanding of this lesson, please keep your books in front of you and follow the text on page 126 and 127. Democracy, as we know it today, is the freedom. It is a system of government in which citizens exercise power directly or elect representatives from among themselves. The term democracy was first used in ancient Greece for political affairs in the city of Athens. Have you noticed that there are only men in these pictures who seem to be voting for election? In ancient Greece, about 10,000 free men were used to go to a flat piece of land called Nyx, which was outside the city of Athens. They used to discuss laws and were used to vote there. The women and slaves were not allowed to vote in ancient Greece. The right of vote was reserved only for Greek native men. Ancient Roman democracy was similar to that of Greek. Also here, only free men had the right to vote. Let's have a look on the difference between the Greek and Roman democracy. Greeks gave the right of vote only to the native male citizens, while Romans granted citizenship and voting right to the selected non-Romans too. Romans had a government of about 600 nobles chosen for life. But the country was run by two consuls elected for 1 year by all the free men. Here are some questions for you. Number 1. Where does the word democracy come from? Number 2. What does it mean? Number 3. Why is the city of Athens so important when we talk about the history of democracy? Number 4. State the similarities and differences between Greek and Roman democracy. The most significant aspect of democracy in the Middle Age, the Magna Carta. Nobles of England forced King John to sign Magna Carta in 1215. This Magna Carta, the Great Charter, became the basis of democracy. But it favored only the nobles. For the ordinary people, it took another 600 to 700 years to experience the democracy. The urge of democracy in France caused the French Revolution. The French Revolution was a period of social and political upheaval in France and its colonies starting from 1789 to 1799. It caused the decline of absolute monarchies while replacing them with republics and liberal democracies. Industrial Revolution brought the fundamental changes in the society. The Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain, and many of the technological innovations were of British origin. It marked a major turning point in the history. It made many ordinary people become very rich and powerful. It affected almost every aspect of daily life, which also includes the evolution of democracy. First World War was a global war lasted from July 1914 to November 1918. This was a significant turning point in the political, cultural, and social climate of the world. It destroyed much of the power of the nobles. In this way, it led towards the evolution of democracy. Democracy in Pakistan. When Pakistan was established, Quaid-e-Azam and the Muslim League wanted to have a democratic form of government in the country, but for most of them, democracy meant the system in the West. Pakistan had to introduce democracy in much less time than the countries in the West, where it took centuries for democracy to evolve. So it is understandable that for us it is still a great problem. What is the purpose for us to study all this history? Democracy is the rule or power of people. People had to fight for their rights in many countries in the world against the monarchs and dictators to earn the democracy. Here's another set of questions for you. What is Magna Carta? What was its benefit? Tell the dates and place of Industrial Revolution. When did French Revolution take place? What was its main achievement? Why are we not yet able to have the complete democratic system in Pakistan? Let's have a look on some important aspects of democracy now. In democracy, the government is chosen by the people through voting. There are equal rights for everyone. Justice is same for everyone. The rule of law and order is for everyone. The judiciary is to be separate from the executive government. There is freedom of speech, religion, and meeting. What are the conditions for democracy to flourish? Following are some of the main conditions for democracy to flourish in a country: stability, mutual respect, freedom, educated citizens, and responsible citizens. The country should be free from deep and bitter division, ethnic, racial, religious, or other ones. People should respect others' beliefs and attitudes. The country should be as free as possible from deep economic differences. If there are people who are desperately poor and others extremely rich, there is always a danger of trouble. The people should have at least a minimum of education, reading, and numbers. People should be responsible and be prepared to exercise their democratic rights, such as voting in an election. Last part of questions for you. State at least 5 aspects of democracy. What are the 3 main conditions for democracy to flourish in a country? Please copy all 10 questions in your history notebook. Read the text from your social studies book carefully and listen to my explanation. Then formulate your own answers and complete your work. Till next lesson, goodbye.